Molly, we have a guest with us today.
Yeah. You're
Sherry
lucky.
ditched
You're
out,
lucky then.
so we have the new and improved Sherry in the form of Daniel
I'm, I'm,
Gold.
I'm imitation Sherry.
Welcome, Daniel.
Thanks for having me. I'm taking over from greatness.
Well, we had some good submissions for event one highlights.
I mean, I'm a little jealous because this is the first week and Daniel already he got one in. I don't even think he had to submit it. Like, I think he just got one in.
Well, that is true. So Daniel got one in. He actually has two that are in. With the finale, it was submitted. There's clear disappointment in the voice of the person recording it. So they were rooting against you, Daniel, which is even better. We just started off.
Yeah.
You don't want to make a disclaimer like anything that Daniel says, like we're not responsible for, or we
Well,
also, this does not reflect our beliefs.
I think that's a
like
very
that.
important disclaimer. Thank
Let
you.
me ask a really important question before we start this. If I do a
Yeah.
much better job than Sherry does, what are you going to do with Sherry?
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
proper
I think
question.
that's a fair question.
That is
It's
a fair question.
I think you got to understand. I'm bringing some international class to this debacle.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I mean, we're going to go global just with my accent.
So starting us off, Unapet submitted these.
It's an amazing point, played by four really great ladies, and I's court coverage is spectacular. I'm the sort of person who appreciates people that can cover the court well for obvious deficiencies
Is
that I
that
have.
Is that your strong strength, Daniel?
Listen, once I start moving, it's hard to stop me. It's just getting me started. You know, the net, you think the net's there for the ball. It's actually a safety net in case I run through it.
We have Seattle Tsunami facing Boca. Natasha's nails.
Oh yeah. Look at her dig. 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 Mostly I just like watching celebrations.
Yeah, I think the best is how loudly Troy screams on that one. Here's another submission from Seattle Tsunami.
Seems to be a
Newcomers.
Seattle bias on this.
Yeah, just a little bit. Don't you feel like
I'm just showcasing some of the newer NPL players for this year. There's Maggie Fields going to town and Julie having a great celebration as well.
yeah, that was great. That was good. I like how she just stayed on her the whole time. Just
Yeah.
never relentless.
All right, Seattle again. Eric Lee and Martin Clark.
That was a perfect spot. You can't get out of the way of that. I mean, it's just a good spot. This is my favorite shot.
Oh, she's caught it between her. Oh.
Oh,
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 Ooh, I missed that.
that's impressive.
That is very impressive. This is so exciting watching Seattle do more things.
This was also the honorary Peacock Award that we talked about in the preview. Since she does a little bit of posturing there. Jane hits an unbelievable third, and then Sherry gets this really sharp angle back, and Jane turns on the engines and gets it. So this is Ryan Kearns. He's out of Indy. I know Ryan because I grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he's in Fort Wayne. He plays for Indy Drivers this year. I like the first one, how he jumps, like he does this very cute jump, but then the video cut off of what he sent me, so then we get to see the finish of the jump in the second highlight.
He did the
Yeah.
exact same shot again.
He did the exact same shot. Yeah, it's against a different team. So he did it in men's here
Yeah,
too.
so he did do it right. He does
Yeah, no, it's not a fluke. This is shot.
I have to tell you, I'm not sure the second one's not better than the first one.
Oh, I think it is because it's just really subtle.
And it barely pulled wide enough to even think about hitting it.
and it's way in. It's not even close to being out. That's impressive.
That is impressive. Oh, we are back to Seattle.
Oh, so cool.
No, that's weird.
Natasha's highlighting Troy there, though. I like how Troy does this moonball serve and then just rips it up the middle. Like, lull him to sleep and then...
When do we get to watch the Hedberg porn?
So John Hedberg submitted 15 clips.
How many?
15.
Is that's more than 14 and less than 16. That's a lot.
Listen,
Yes.
when you're on fire and you have this many highlights, he narrowed it down for us. And I mean, I watched it, and he had some good shots. Like, it was impressive.
He had some amazing shots. I honestly didn't include all 15 because it was just like, how, we wanted to make room for someone besides Hedberg and, of course, Seattle.
He has been ranked the #1 male 50 and over player 87 weeks in a row.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, I mean, just that's all. I mean,
I can't get over it. Just his facial expression every time after he hits these shots. He is so excited. He's overcome with emotion.
And that is in. It gets baseline. That's a bad man, Hennig says about Hedberg. Those are quick hands.
not only one of the better players, but also one of the more confident players. How about that for a statement?
Yeah, and that was quick work. Hedberg and Hennig.
Yeah. Without stating the obvious, some of these shots are literally ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just the way he doesn't smile after a single shot. Not one.
He's just busy. He's just going to work.
Quickly in two. Oh, what an angle from Hedberg.
That's one of John Hedberg's patented shots. He loves to reach across there on the forehand side, hit that sharp angle. This card is made, but Shaw just so solid on that. There it is. There's the patented Hedberg angled.
For a serious moment, just talking about some of the stuff John's done here, but some of his angled volleys with the flick of the wrist and the angle he creates. I'm laughing and joking here, but you have to admit, the level of technical difficulty is amazing.
Oh, thus they flick.
And they twice call it his patented. So I just wonder what happens if anybody else hits that shot. Are there royalties to somebody who holds a patent? I don't know these things. We need to consult a patent attorney.
If you hit a Hedberg shot, he sends you a signed autographed headshot of himself. How many do you have hanging in your office?
Big shoulders. Yeah, John Hedberg has been playing superb pickleball. He teamed up with Dave Furman, finished second at the U.S. Open. Nearly won it. And that one falls. How about that wraparound? Whatever style these guys are playing is fun to watch. They do it all so well. That was very close to being in the kitchen.
Yeah, it sure was.
Hedberg gambling, 2 feet jump over the kitchen. Hedberg, Ernie.
No, that was really impressive.
Remarkable. And the roll off of the Ernie.
Across court.
Yes.
I think 2025 NPL, I'm really going to try to hit my first Ernie. I still haven't hit one yet.
Is
but
there a guy named Ernie in the league? Is that what you're going to do? Body bagging a guy named Ernie is not an Ernie volley.
Either I'm going to body bag a guy named Ernie, or I'm just gonna Ernie one time.
I'm gonna send you an Ernie, like Bert and Ernie. I'm gonna send you Ernie. I got an Ernie.
Yeah,
you do an Ernie. I'll do a tweener.
I'm going
because I'm sure I'll break my shin. If I'm gonna crack my shin if I try and.
You think you're gonna break your shin? You might want to be careful of your other parts too.
Oh look, it's not Seattle.
That is insane.
That is insane. And definitely Peter went to church praying that ball would be out, and then it wasn't.
Firstly, Scott is absolutely an incredible player. So let's just start with the fact that he can do amazing things.
Yes.
There is no way this was intended, and this is a complete fluke. This doesn't go anywhere near where he's hoping this goes. He's trying to hit this back down the line, and he gets it wrong.
Yeah.
So the challenge for Scott this season then is to replicate this, yeah?
Okay.
I've got a better challenge.
Let's do it
the
again.
The challenge for this season is for the three of us to replicate to do it.
Not a chance. I have never hit a tweener.
Which one of us can hit the first tweener this season?
Okay.
First tweener.
The first tweener, and I still am throwing the challenge out to Scott that he's got to try to replicate this. It doesn't have to.
Scott could do this anytime you ask him to do it.
Oh yeah, tweener. But do you think landing it, in the corner of the kitchen again?
No, he'll never hit it in the corner ever again.
This is a great one.
Yeah, this is awesome. Is this I?
Yeah. So A. I mean, Renee rips a nice backhand there, but A just is too on it.
I don't understand this next one. This next one doesn't. Something my screen's got a bit blurry.
Something about not being able to snap an overhead down for a winner.
What's annoying about it is I could have put it in so many other places, and I know him so well, and he doesn't know that fucking shot. He hasn't beaten me since the Queen was alive. And of course, he wins the men's doubles, then he wins the mixed doubles. So he's walking around and he's crowing and he's giving the big, I'm going to get this video that you now see with the tweener and I'm going to send it to you every day. Of course, then we came out in the tie break. Why you couldn't make this shit up. Can we just talk about Brian's round the ATP inside out, back to front, that he does twice just to prove it wasn't a fluke?
The amazing thing about this one here is this is Brian's very first game in the NPL. Like, very first morning, very first game, very first day. And he's playing Mircea and Peter Prodnoff, and he ends the first game with that. I mean, that's just crazy.
Oh, this is unreal.
And the amazing thing is, from his butt, it's like still like a buttery soft drop.
He's so freaking good. I mean, look at that get. If I'd been involved in that point and I went down from the first one, there's a possibility I get the second one, but getting up, getting out, running over the fence, diving, flicking the ball back and getting back in the point, no.
So here's the preview, kind of a warm-up.
Just so you know, it wasn't a fluke. Because it's the same shot.
Turn 9-1. That was sick. And that is the match.
I mean, what is the odds? Thousands of hours of mindless pickleball. That's the shot it freezes on.
I was standing with the Iconics on the court behind, and we all were just like, wow, that was a gutsy shot.
I didn't even know him when he hit that forehand. And I was like...
And now he's famous.
That was the jizziest forehand I've ever seen in my life. On match point in the team breaker, and I saw him the next day, I was like, that was ballsy.
I don't know who you are, but I need to know you.
I was like, I don't know who you are, but...
And honestly, I saw your little eyes light up, and look how we've been ever since.
I know.
And then you heard me speak, and you're like, oh my God.
Were you just like, I'm winning it on this one, or like, I mean...
What's going through your head?
Hang on. So look, you got to understand, I was very fortunate. If I'm being humble for a minute, which is not like me.
Well, don't be weird.
I mean, if I was humble for a minute, I did get very lucky because I'm playing against Shay and Mark, who I play with most days. And I know that if you hit a top spin serve to Shay has one of the great inside-out chop returns you can possibly imagine. If he catches it right, it moves, it hits the court, it stays low. You've got to get very low underneath it to try and get it back up over the net. So the only way to counter Shay is you have to do an inside-out spin serve to him, which forces him to run around his backhand and hit a top spin forehand back to you. I know this already. So therefore, I knew Shay's forehand was going to be high and loopy because I was going to go to his backhand. He was going to have to run around it, which then meant I was going to be able to, either myself or Dave Comey, the plan was wherever that ball landed, we were going to step in and hit it right at Mark. So the point was preordained before I hit the serve. inside out to Shea. Shea's going to roll it back, and I'm just going to drill it straight down the line at Mark, and he knows I'm going to do it, and that's what's going to happen, and that's fortunately what happened.
Yeah, but it's dropping, it's fading away from his backhand. I mean, it's spectacular.
You guys get all excited about the drive. The serve was a far harder shot to execute than the drive. The serve has to start outside the court, come back into the court, really make Shea have to run around it. The serve's a much harder shot to execute.
Like, I would not have the balls to go for that big of a serve at that point. It would have been like 30 miles an hour.
So, Daniel, if it's 10-9-2, are you going for that serve?
Yes, I saw that was the point.
Oh, yeah. Even if it was side out. Even if you miss the serve and it's side out and your team's like,
no,
especially.
I would have. The serve was not meant to be that close to the line. You know, I just caught it that way and it was close to the line. But I would have hit that serve to Shea 100 times out of 100. I never hit a topspin serve to Shea ever. I mean, I played last night. He didn't see one.
Poor Shea.
Mark was just waiting for his opportunity to lob you so he could tween her back.
Mark knew what was coming. I told you that. He may have won the battles, but he ended up losing the war, which is all that mattered.